With it, baby.
I'm bringing it.
Oh man, yeah. It ain't gonna be on Facebook. It's gonna be on everything else.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
bringing it.
Good evening,
Oh
baby.
man.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of
It
African.
ain't gonna be on Facebook. It's gonna be on everything else.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on,
I'm bringing it. Good
hold
evening, baby. Good evening, and welcome to another edition of it ain't gonna be on Facebook. It's gonna be on everything else.
on. Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. Tonight is a very interesting program because of what's happening to us, and the things that happen to us we just overlook, and we try to be other people from other places, and it just fucks us up. We not getting it. So we want to share something with you tonight that we hope you guys really get into, because this is stuff that we got to pass on to our children. And if they know the same shit that we know, they done. Because we keep trying to bullshit and lie to the kids, and they grow up dumb and not knowing shit, and it fucks us all up. So we want to share some stuff with you tonight. Pay attention to this because it's right in your face. So the first thing I want to open up with you guys, I want to share with you guys is this. And check these cats out. If you ever heard of a brother, a website called, or this is a brother, he's not a website. He has a YouTube channel and he's called We All Be TV. You probably remember him when he was hanging out with Dick Gregory. Brother's a saxophone player from Memphis, Tennessee, cold saxophone player, but he gives history of the area around Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, shit that we ain't got no excuse of not knowing. And how the Negro normally works, we play like we don't know shit, and we keep passing the dumb shit on to our children. That shit ain't cool at all. So I want to share this brother with you before I bring on the Accomack godmama to you, and she gonna blow you out the water with the shit we about to show y'all, because we ain't got no excuse. All these dumb motherfuckers telling us all this dumb shit, it's confusing us. It's confusing us. And this ain't nobody but on us. So I want you to check this brother out right here. Check this cat out. I want you to just do some homework on these do some homework on these cats. Check these dudes out. They're called the Chickapaw Syncopators. I think his name is Charles Lunford or whatever. This was a brother playing back when Count Basie, Duke Ellington was playing. And these brothers called themselves the Chickasaw Syncopators. Now I'm sure many of you have heard about the Chickasaw, Choctaw, Chickasaw. These are the people who were in that area about what we were about to talk about tonight. These are the people in that area. They were called Chickasaw. Like you call Choctaw. See, we never hear the Chickasaw. We never hear the Choctaw. We never hear the Cosati, because we're always talking about these foreign ideologies, which we're going to fucking suffer for later on, because we like to be dumb and play like we don't know. And this shit is right in your face. And y'all don't have no excuse. The Chickasaw Syncopators were a big band in the Memphis, Tennessee area. Charles Lunsford was the leader of this band. And why did he call himself the Chickasaw Syncopators? Because they were Indians of that area. But we like to call ourselves Moors and all these foreign ideologies. And all that shit does is confuse us over and over and over. And then our dumbasses are the ones that, that's what we those people. shut up, because you're confusing the youth. And if you keep confusing the youth, they'll be in the same situation that you in now. This is why we bring it up all the time. And I know many of y'all gonna go back and do y'all little whole shit. Okay. But this is the information. And if you don't get it, get this to your kids. Because they need it. Because what's going on in the world now is going to change their world forever. And if they don't get shit like you give them, you don't give them nothing. You give them all this foreign bullshit to keep them confused. They're not gonna make it. So the Chickasaw syncopators, you guys do your homework on these brothers. Do your homework on the Chickasaw, and also do your homework on this part of Tennessee we about to talk about tonight, because this shit's about to flip y'all's lid. Joining me as always, and sorry, I know it's like a Monday night. I mean, this is what's it, Saturday morning, but we had to get it in, but we had a night that we had to do some stuff. We got the Accomack godmama, Lisa Cypress, joining us, and she about to twist that lid. Lisa, how you doing tonight, love? Unmute your mic.
Sorry. Thank you for having me. And thank you, chat. Best chat in the land, smartest chat, most intelligent chat in the universe. And thank you, Carrie, for being this, like I say, the indigenous, the founder of Indigenous Critical Thinking. Thank you very much.
You so sweet. You so sweet.
Yeah. All right, let's get some Chickasaw syncopators on. Oh, we're not gonna hear no music. We can't play it.
I mean, okay. Let me try. Let me
Play a
put
little
on,
bit.
let me put on some Chickasaw syncopators. Check this
Okay.
out. Here we go. See, I gotta sign up with them, and
Oh,
I don't want to do that. But you guys can check
can
it
you
out.
play a sample?
I mean,
Oh, I see.
listen.
I got. Oh, I see.
let me try to go to
Okay.
YouTube and do it, and we'll get back with you.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay, we gonna go with you. But you guys, look, the Chickasaw syncopators, check these cats out. Syncopation, isn't that one of the mainstays in your music in the 70s? The Chickasaw, aren't those your people? I know you have an affinity with Moors and all that other stuff, but when you have an
Mm-hmm.
affinity with that, you turn your back on this. That's nobody's fault but ours. You can
Mm-hmm.
say all the dumb shit you want to say. This is your folks, y'all. And when you see what's going on in this part of the world today, you should be pissed. So I'm gonna pull up some Chickasaw syncopators, Lisa, and
Okay.
you go ahead and start yours.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up your stuff.
All right, y'all. We got a Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing happening currently. It's time for us to be in the moment, awake, and conscious of what's happening while it's happening, instead of looking at it in retrospect and saying, "Wow, wasn't that something that you know, Katrina? Oh, that was really something else." This is it. Let's check it. Go get it.
You need to know what's going on in Mason, Tennessee. Mason, Tennessee is a predominantly black town in West Tennessee. About 60% of the population is black. Almost all of its town leaders are black. This changed in 2016. Up until 2016, almost all the town leaders were white, but town leaders who had been there for many, many years all stepped down, almost all of them stepped down under charges of fraud and corruption. So black civic leaders stepped up and took the positions of mayor and vice mayor and alderman and such. Just recently, the 1,337 property owners in Mason, Tennessee got a letter from the state comptroller, Jason Mumford. He was encouraging these property owners to vote to release their charter. What this would do, Basically, take away all the power of local leadership and put this town under the control of predominantly white, predominantly Republican Tipton County. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Mason, Tennessee is 5 miles away from the site of Ford Motor Company's new blue oval city that's going in. This is a multi-billion-dollar project designed to help Ford pivot to electric vehicles. They're expecting it will generate 27,000 new jobs and $22 million a year annually in state revenue. In other words, money's coming to Tipton County. And by the way, the most direct route from Blue Oval City to Memphis is right through Little Mason, Tennessee. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of the local politics there. It may be that the comptroller has some kind of valid reasoning for this letter. But the problem is the white folks in this story are kind of like the little boy who cried wolf. There's been no reason given to trust you. This feels like another takeover. This feels like colonization. If there wasn't a whole lot of money to be made, would the white leaders of Tipton County and the state of Tennessee care at all about what's happening in Mason? Virginia Rivers, the vice mayor of Mason, Tennessee, said this is akin to a hostile takeover. That's also the title of the story on this that was reported in the Tennessee Lookout. I really encourage you to Google this and read up on this. This is still developing, and you might want to pay attention. This is yet another of a long line of attempts in red states to turn local and state leadership into a more authoritarian form of government. All politics is local, and the politics in Mason, Tennessee needs to stay local.
So you say, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay. They got a, oh, my mic, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
They got a situation on their hand. And they, you know, they're reaching down and they want that money. Just like they came here. And this, everything they do is about them reaching in and taking our resources. They got a nice, a nice opportunity, some industry finally coming into their community that's been broke, been suffering. They didn't offer them any help. They've been limping through their debt because, what happened in this town, it was a predominantly black town, or indigenous town, I should say. It was a predominantly indigenous town that the white people were running. These white folks was running the town as usual, and something happened, some horrible scandal got, finally, that they were stealing a line and thieving, things that they usually do, but they got caught in it, and they all abandoned their posts. So the indigenous people, stood up and took those positions. So that's why it's now a predominantly indigenous town run by those people. Well, now that this daggone opportunity is coming their way, all of a sudden, the comptroller of Tennessee, of Tifton County, which is there a town in Tifton County, wants to jump in and tell them to drop their charter, or the government's going to take over. Now, they are refusing to drop their charter. But the reality is there are things that they need to be doing, and they need to know who they are so that they actually can self-protect and self-govern, because they already got a whole town. You might as well get yourself in the right status, right? Okay, let's move on to the next. The thing about this is that I actually was told about this by my daughter, and she sent me that video, and I was like, what? And when I saw the video, I was like, I immediately looked up this town and called this woman here on the screen. Her name is Virginia Rivers, and I had them. I think I left her a message, or I gave them the message that she should call me. And I called her, and she did not return my phone call. I left a message for her to call me. She didn't return my phone call. And then I called back later today, and I told the person to answer the phone, I explained what they could be doing to actually change this whole situation, and how they can actually be able to self-govern without the interference of these outside entities. And she was like, whoa, like, we needed this information. Thank you. Here's her email, blah, blah, blah. She'll call you back. Tra la la. We'll see. So I don't know. Because a lot of times you got to be ready to act when your opportunity, when your window comes open, when the opportunity is here. You need to be ready for it. And a lot of times we're not ready. Okay. And it's also hard for us sometimes, like James Branch is saying, it's also hard for us to, actually, accept who we are. It's a lot. But even on the phone call, my daughter said I was being a little bit, I was wordy. I was only about 5 minutes, but it is a lot for somebody to take in 5 minutes. But even in the 5 minutes that I may have been a little wordy, the person over the phone was getting it. And all I can hope is that, this is the vice mayor, that the vice mayor gets it, because it's really important that they do what they can. We don't want this to be another Tulsa, another sad Negro tale. I don't want to see a sad Negro tale. Can we do things to change? Yes, we can. Should we try? Yes, we should. All this worrying about Moors, I mean, fine. All this, I've talked to the Acamax. We had a little talk, and we've come to the conclusion that we are not getting involved in any of this dumb Moor, Pan-African, Huda, fake Indians, all these pretendians, all these extra YouTube people. We're not getting involved with YouTube people like that anymore. Carrie, it's not that, but like, the reality is a lot of these people are just in it for the shine. And you can spend your time being much more constructive and helping people like this that's on the screen. Like this is a situation that can be prevented. This is a situation where we can have a happy ending if people wake up and do the right thing. But people need the information. If we were actually sharing the information in real time with real people to make real change instead of wanting to be shines, we could actually do some good stuff around here. We could be change agents for real. What's the next thing? Okay. So yeah. So then the Mason leadership disputes the claims, disputes the comptroller's claims, and refuses to surrender charter. So they're fighting not to surrender the charter, which is great. But the reality is that they're slaves. And the reality is that anytime Big Zaddy wants to come on down and put his thumb up your booty, or buck break you, or tell you what to do, or take your stuff away, or they can, because you don't know who you are. You don't know what your rights are. You're not in your power, in your position of power. You predate. This is your land that they have invaded, that they are squatters on, and you predate them. Yet you sitting up there asking, Mother, may I? Please, 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 Master, please. Begging, 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 begging. We got to stop begging, 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 begging. We got to stop, please, 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 please. We cannot be James Brown. We cannot keep on pleading, begging, begging, please. We got to stop begging. We got to stop pleading. We have to let them know. First of all, you got to know who you are. And you got to start daggone being the administrators that you are. You are an administrator. Act like that. Act like an administrator. Don't act like a begging fool. All right, let's go to the next one. So they're fighting. They need a solution. We indigenous people have a solution. If you don't know that you have a solution, then you've been listening and not getting any information that you need. Let's go on. Let's move it. Let's move on. Okay, this is the person, Jason E. Power. He's the comptroller. He's the shot caller. He's the one who's saying, nah, nigga. Nah, you're not going to get this. You're not going to keep it now. Now, when they were in debt and they were floundering and they couldn't do nothing, nothing could get right, and they needed solutions, they needed guidance. Heck, they hadn't been in government. These people just stood up and took responsibility where they didn't need to. They took responsibility for all this when the white folks ran out. And now he wants to say, you getting something? No, you're not going to get no goodness. No, 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 no. You're not going to get any jobs and benefits and be able to control funding and all this kind of stuff. No. All that good flow of money is coming under my umbrella. I'm taking over to the Treasury. I want it right in my pocket. Right in my pocket. We have these guys who are actual full-fledged Klansmen in these positions. We have all these Pan-Africans and Moors and all these other entities and even Indians or so-called Indians keeping us all confused, fighting over nonsense, listening to things that are not going to help us, when in reality we got these daggone clans people all in our government trying to tear us down every minute. And so happy that we're so distracted by some bullshit. Quite honestly. They don't want us talking about real politics and what's going on. They don't want us doing things about what's going on in real life. They want us to fight about what happened, who's a Mayan, and how. They want us to figure out who's a Mayan, and you know what? Come on, y'all.
Lisa,
Where was Egypt?
Lisa,
Where's the real Egypt?
Lisa, could you share with them what this whole situation is about? The whole story, what led up to this?
What led up to this?
You know, when they the whole
What
the
you
whole
could?
county, they had to step down because of the malfeasance they were going through.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, they were caught. You know, it was a majority white. It was all white. It was all white administrators, all white government leaders, and they were stealing. They were doing all kinds of illegal things, and they all had to step down, or they all ran off and stepped down, and the indigenous people stood up and they took control. They didn't know what they were doing. They assumed positions in government, and it was hard. But nobody from the comptroller or anybody else from the daggone county or the state came to help them with this when they had to just learn how to run a government all by themselves in this town. But now that they're supposed to get this industry that's supposed to open up in their town, and they're going to have money coming to their town, all of a sudden now they're supposed to give up their charter. Step down, step away. We got it now. It's ours now. We're taking it back now. No. They say no, and I say no. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. And the thing that they don't want us to the thing they want us to be is mammies, coloreds, not really colors, but they want us to be mammies and African Americans and black. because African Americans and Black don't have solutions. They just run around in circles and do the same dumb stuff all over and over and over again. They do not have solutions. They don't, because they don't know who they are. You have no foundation. You have no solutions if you don't know who you are. And if you think you're somebody else, like an African American, then I guess you better go call Africa for an answer, for a solution.
So that's why.
Because your home is not here. You're an immigrant.
So that's why it's easy for all these people to just screw you over, because you all check. Okay, check this out. So the town we're talking about, they have about 1,600 people in the town, and they're going to
Small.
build a lithium battery production plant there.
Major.
It's major. It's going to bring in billions of dollars. So
Major.
so check this out. And this is what I mean. All this dumb shit that we like to be confused and you can't tell me I can do what I want. So you have 1,600 Negroes there. 100 of them are Moors. 100 of them are Christians. 100 of them are Muslims. 100 of them are Greeks. 100 of them are all these different groups we into. They will never come together. Now, this is just a small portion of what's going on all over the country, because we keep trying to be all these foreign ideologies and all this bullshit that's passed down to us, and we will fight and scratch to be
Right. Right.
easy for these other people to slide in, and we don't get it. I mean, the Negro will scratch your eyeballs out to be whatever he wants to be. Why these
Right.
come in and pimp you like the hoe that you are, right? That's what happens. Now, we don't like to hear it, because my stomach hurt. Don't tell me that. But this is what's happening. And this is what you're passing down to your children. This is what you hand to your children.
Sadly.
But I'll shut up, because I know you want to. I just won't. Help me. I don't know. Somebody tell me something. I don't know. I just help me, please. So you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, come on, y'all. Damn. Africans will come over and get jobs at this battery plant that they're building. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're begging.
Right. Right. Guess what? This is what they want to do. They want to take over the daggone town, and then they want to make sure nobody from that town gets any jobs in that daggone plant. So you'll be sitting up there, lose your government position, and your daggone sons, daughters, cousins, nieces, and nephews won't be able to even get a job in that daggone plant. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Where we at here? Okay. Oh, okay. So first of all, I called up, I called the county immediately when my daughter told me about this. But in addition to that, everybody can do this. A tweet don't cost you nothing, baby. A tweet costs you nothing. All you gotta do is tweet. Okay? All you gotta do is tweet. It's right in your phone. It don't cost you nothing. And we need to tweet at the very least. At the very least, get off your seat or stay in your seat and tweet. Stay in your seat. At the very least, stay in your seat and tweet. I tweeted, leave Mason, Tennessee government alone, Jason Mumpower. You are politically Tulsa bombing the town of Mason. Stop the political terrorism. We have indigenous people can move as a foot in the butt of this country if we want to. Understand that we have the ability to, when we make a noise together, we have the ability to change things. Stop all this dumb stuff and let's do some real stuff. I told I just sent that alone. There are no tweets. People don't even use tweets like they should. You can reach any government official with a tweet. They got somebody hired to check that shit, but they got nothing to do because nobody sends anything. Right? So use your tweets to help people. Use your tweets to impact change. Break free with that. How to break free? And now we promised y'all we was gonna talk about genealogy. So although this is a very important story, and then we didn't want to miss on this fact that they are trying to annihilate. They're trying to economically destroy this town because what they want to do is push these leaders, these indigenous leaders out, and then they won't have their government jobs and they won't be able to control anything. They won't benefit of the funding. They're going to funnel all that money that is being made in that town away to other people's communities. We see it happen over and over again. It's going to happen if we don't do something different. Those who are going to have all their funding, all the money from this industry funneled away to other towns, and they probably won't even be able to get a job working there. Those people, they will bring in Ukrainian people to work in that daggone factory. They will bring in Hispanics. They will bring in Africans. But they're not going to let them get the majority jobs because they are not empowered. They're slaves. You have to be able, you need to do something. Stop, do something. What is she saying? No, well, I don't even know what that means. But anyway.
Proof God and Jesus ain't able to save our brothers and sisters in Mason, Tennessee from Mumford and his class. I mean,
what does that mean? The whole point of this is that we first of all, we are saved. If you can't recognize the life preserver, then that's your fault, boo. We got life preservers.
He's not saying.
I know that. I know he's not saying that. I know he's saying that it's proof to God that Jesus ain't coming to save him. I know that's what he's saying. I know exactly what he's saying. But the point of the real reality is we have life preservers that we don't even want to recognize
because we don't know them, because we don't recognize ourselves, because we're trying to be other people.
Because we believe everything that the great Zaddy tells us, White Zaddy tells us. We trust it.
But that's on us. I mean, come on.
What did White Zaddy say? I don't know. Let me go ask him. What did he say? What's the answer?
What Malin say?
What did he say? All right, what's next? What am I showing? Oh, there you got.
Here we go.
Is there another slide?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no, you didn't go. You didn't scoot down the slide. Oh, you got it. The next little picture.
Yeah.
Can you get to the picture that's underneath?
I'm getting it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Slide. Yeah, there you go. You got it. That's not it.
That's it. That's the next slide.
The next. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, you got it. Okay. I was looking at the wrong screen. Okay, yeah. I can't see the bottom thing, but see, that's them. That is a picture from that town, from Mason, Tennessee. Now, do these people look like African? Do these children look like little Ghana, Nigerian? These are our families. These are our indigenous people. We're looking at indigenous people. We're looking at American Indians right here. These are American Indians. They don't know that they're American Indians. What are we gonna do? We got people on the internet right now who are organized all around that area. Are they hadn't called. I called. They didn't call to they I'm sure they knew about this before I did because they are in Tennessee or supposed to be organized in that area. Did they're not reaching out to this community? See, we got to stop with these fake people that just they very entertaining, but fuck entertainment. You need to know some stuff and you need to do some things. Okay, so there's no power and flapping your mouth. You know what you're doing when you flap your mouth? You're just Uncle Ruckus. You're creating an Uncle Ruckus. You're Uncle Ruckus, baby. You know that's that Al Sharpton. I'm creating a ruckus. Oh, don't you? Oh, I'm gonna come and create. I'm gonna create my ruckus. And what does a ruckus do? Nothing. A ruckus does nothing. All the and then he gets a check for it. And the people that are catching hell keep on catching hell, and they fade to black. Literally, they fade to black. Literally. These are the Mason, Tennessee Indians. This is the town of Mason. Here you see the governor and the mayor and the vice mayor. Look how sad they look. They all sad, y'all. They sad. But they really are sad. I'm not trying to be funny, but they sad. They stressed out. I mean, maybe they can listen to what I'm trying to tell them, and maybe they cannot be sad anymore. Because if they actually do what I'm telling them to do, it'll change the world. It'll change the world, for real. It's a little town. It's like a mile and a half square miles or something. It's really tiny. And they don't want them to have that, right? But if you no, go back, go back. Okay, so what should they do? We're about solutions, right? What should they do? Yeah, you got to fight back, but genealogy can fight your way back. So you go on Ancestry, which is what I did tonight, right? Real quick. The governor's, the mayor's last name is Gooden. I'm like, okay. I told the girl on the phone, I said, look, baby, if you got genealogy that goes back, granddaddy, great granddaddy, if y'all got several people, the genealogy goes back to great in this area, y'all need to get those people together and get to cracking. I just put in the mayor's name, last name. I put in Mason, Tennessee. It popped up Mason, Tipton, Tennessee. It gave me the county, and then I put in 1900 because a lot of these places that are past Virginia, they didn't even become anything. The invaders didn't even get there until after 1850, right? So these were all Indians just chilling until about 1800. Then the invaders got there, right? Because you have to remember the Revolutionary War is when they really started to be able to branch out and be wild and do their shit. Really, I mean, Tennessee was part of the Union thing, but the fight. But I mean, they didn't really get to really sink their teeth into us until they expatriated completely from their country and said, "Nah, we're gonna come and terrorize and take over this damn spot." These pirates, right? So, you click. Okay, so you put that in, you hit search, and then the next thing you do is you get results for it. Now there is not much. You know why? Because Tennessee and a lot of these southern states are evil as hell, and they don't keep they hide a lot of records. So in the case of some of these people, got to go to their county courthouses and their libraries and stuff because a lot of stuff's written. I mean, a lot of stuff's hidden. But anyway, what somebody did was somebody started a tree, a Gooden with Charles Gooden in it. I clicked on right at Charles Gooden on that tree. I clicked on that. Okay. Let's go to the next one.
The next one?
Yeah, I clicked on that tree. Somebody started. Click on the next one. Okay, stop there. Yeah. Yes, go a little bit higher. Go a little bit higher. Okay, so this is Charles Gooden. Okay, a little bit low. Okay, a little bit, no, little low. No. Go back up. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Okay, so I want to be able to see Charles James Gooden. Okay, so Charles James Gooden is what I ended up on. But what I ended up clicking on this is I said, oh, okay, but look at that. I'm going to know what happened in 1910. So I went into the center of the page where it says 1910 United States Federal Census. And I clicked on that. And when I clicked on that, y'all, go next. I actually came up with Charles Gooden, actually. So I missed a step for you because Charles Gooden's only 10. Charles is the child of Frank Gooden. And they misspelled it. They corrected it. See, underneath they put Gooden. They had misspelled it. Understand they're going to have misspellings and stuff like that. It's that man's, it probably is that mayor's people. That's it. It is. You know it is. Anyway, he's clearly black, married, and if you go down further, it actually tells you that they are farmers, which means they own the land. Not a farmhand, but a farmer. Landowners. And born in 1873. Frank Gooden. And the son was Charles. He was 10. He's in there as 10. I didn't show everything. But anyway, there you already see that the mayor, he has history. He's indigenous to this area. You keep going, you're gonna find out. They always been here. They always been here. That's just one brief daggone dip into the daggone his genealogy, and you already identify because you understand the daddy was born in 1870. The town didn't start until like 1850. You already in there. This ain't no fucking African. This is an indigenous person. Excuse my French. Okay? So with that being the case, what do they need to do? That's enough. So you get it, you get his genealogy done. He's one person. Okay? Then there's things that they can do to change their whole directive. Where are they in Tennessee? Okay? So I looked on a map of Tennessee. I'm trying to figure out where is Mason. Well, Mason is above Memphis. It's really by the edge of the of Tennessee. It's almost by it's not the Mississippi. It's part of the Mississippi, but it's like called something else like OPC or I forget. I don't remember the name, but it's some part of the river. But clearly, it's on the western end of Tennessee, right? The far western end. The funny thing is, if you look at it close up, you can't tell like that is that far west. But when you look at it in relation to Knoxville and Nashville and Memphis, you see that it's very west. It's almost in Mississippi, right? And let's go on down. So then you go to the map, you find out where the town is, your family's town is, your people, right? Then you go and you get it, you go and you Google Indian maps for Tennessee, Indian tribe maps for Tennessee. Booyah. You get this. Okay. Go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So there you see, there you go. That's great. So then you see the Chickasaw, the Shawnee, the Yuchi, the Cherokee, the Kawasati. Okay, so y'all, everybody says Cherokee. So when I talked to the person on the phone today, she goes, "Oh, you mean Cherokee?" I'm like, I wasn't surprised because that's what the government pushed, and that's what our immediate ancestors heard. They only heard about Cherokee because they erased a lot of these other names on purpose. They supposed to be gone to disappear. So the only names of Indians you're supposed to know are the recognized tribes. See, they did some mystical, magical stuff, but it's all paperwork and propaganda. Paperwork, propaganda, and lies. That's what everything is. So they erase you and replace you. And you don't understand that they're doing it all over again with these Africans. You're being doubly, triply replaced. So you see the Coasati, you see the Chickasaw. So actually, some places they say the Chickasaw and the Coasati are close together. There's also another one. Let's go to the next one. Oh, can you move it over a little bit to the side? Can you slide the Oh, go back to the other slide. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, move it over so I can see the words. But that's good. And okay, so when you look at you see, if you saw that map, if the map had been slid over some more, you would be able to see that on the edge of, slide the map. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see on the map now. You can see the Quapaw, the Quapaw. Quapaw's right there. So it actually could be, you could call yourself Chickasaw Quapaw. Call yourself Chickasaw Coasati. It depends on whatever what I advise with you. Or maybe if I was to talk to the mayor, he would say, yeah, my mom, my big mama said Quapa. She would say we were Quapa, you know. And then it's like, it's a boom. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to anybody to get that feedback. I'm just doing this blind in my house, figuring this shit out. I haven't, I'm just looking at the man on the website. That's how easy it is for you to get your stuff together. I don't even know these people, but I can already get their life together. You see what I'm saying? That's how easy it is to change your identity. Next slide. So excited. Okay. So now you got to identify yourself. You can identify your people. That's your family, your kin. For them, it's everybody in that town that actually has been there. Some people ain't going to have been there forever. Some people might move there, whatever. They just happen to end up there. That's okay. They can live in Indian territory. That's not a problem. They can live there. But you and yours and those other people that know that they're of that land need to identify their people. So they need to figure out who they are for real. And like I said, those things are going to come through what you've been told, names that your family has already, made familiar with you. Maybe they said that they were Chickasaw Coasati or Chickasaw Quapaw. I don't know, Quapaw, Chickasaw, whatever. But that'll come when people start communicating and saying, "This is my grandma. You said this." So and then when I did further research, I found out that they got an even more powerful history here. They're part of the Mississippian history and archaeology. So they are possibly the Tipton phase. That's what they call them, the Tipton phase people. And they could say, you know what, we're Tipton phase Indians, and that's just mind blowing because baby, you're a prehistoric. You are an ancient people. Don't mess with me. We're Tipton phase, baby. Tipton phase. We are part of this earth anciently. That's no made up Wawa tribe or all this bullcrap, Costa Casa, and all this daggone fake stuff that people do, Yuckies and Yamasees of all types, and Yama this and Yama that. Everybody's Yamasees. It's not rehashing to say everybody a poor monkey. It's not rehashing the same old bull. It's finding your exact people from your county, your town, and being able to make real changes in your lives. I know y'all act like I don't know, but I know. I'm living this. All right. So this is what they need. This is what I am actually going to give this presentation to the mayor. Next. The next thing you do is you go and get your EIN. Oh no, we passed it. Yeah, your EIN. Yeah, that was real. That's part of it. You gotta make yourself a corporation. Just like the United States is a corporation, your nation is a corporation. and you're gonna apply for EIN for whatever they are, Chickasaw, Quapaw. They're gonna go ahead and look for that, see if anybody else got it, use it, claim it, be it. Next step, go on and organize yourself as a corporation for real with the EIN number that you have in the state that you're claiming it. Claim it, right? Go to Senate, the Tennessee Secretary of State. That's where you're organizing yourself. That's where you're going to be a corporation. Why are y'all acting like this is so hard? Why are y'all not doing this? Why am I the only? I ain't got nobody to talk to. I'm all by myself. Ain't nobody can relate to what I'm doing. They too busy fighting with people that's Aboriginal and Aboriginals hanging with Tariq, and this one's fighting with daggone Pan Africans, and the other one's talking to Moors. I have no peers. Get it together. Get it together. Anyway, everyone does. Okay, this is what you got to do. Now, the next thing that they have to do as a people is this. They need to have everyone do their genealogy to connect to their lineage. Not everyone's gonna be indigenous to that land. Not everyone's gonna have that genealogy, but the ones that do can, and they can go ahead and adopt or allow the others to stay on indigenous land. They can do that. Okay, not a problem. But that way, guess what? They can keep their town, and their town is indigenous, and can't nobody tell them what to do at all. And they already got all the infrastructure and everything. It's the best thing ever. So the second thing they're gonna do, all right, is they're gonna say everyone who has a bloodline enrolls, and you have to have an enrollment application. You make your enrollment application. Of course, I will give them my whatever I can, to help them. Because, like I said, I'm not giving this out any information out to people who aren't doing real things. You'll never get nothing from me when you're just gonna sit in the house and sit and with your thumb up your butt, and you ain't even have no intention to do it. Don't bother me. You haven't even done your genealogy. Don't talk to me, okay? Talk to me when you're doing real stuff. So when they decide this, they're gonna do this. They got it. I'm gonna help them with it whenever way I can. Everybody needs an enrollment form, and then via their genealogy, the enrollment form has your genealogy on it. So it's gonna tell you I'm related to this tribe by this side, by this, blah 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 blah. Everybody's gonna have an enrollment form. Then in addition, everyone's going to sign or have his name on an affidavit, which changes their identity from African American Black to don't be getting on me. Don't be bothering me if you ain't gonna do real stuff. But you can reach me at acamac.org. That goes to my website, and it gives me a flag that alerts me that I got an email. Either way, if you don't, you get lost and I'll never see it. But if you go to acamac.org and go to the contact me goes directly to me. Okay. Anyway, everyone signs his name in the affidavit, changing their identity to Chickasaw Quapaw. Now, the affidavit is going to explain their history. It's going to explain their genealogy. It's going to also explain their lost identity. And it's also going to outline their freedom, the laws that are applicable to them, and the rights that are applicable to them. It's going to have all those details in the affidavit. Okay. And they're going to, why is that not showing? Yeah. And that's going to be sent. Then the fifth step is they're going to send the affidavits to all pertinent government agencies. And I mean a lot of them. This is going to be vastly reported. And the more you report it, the better, to the, Secretary of State, to the president, to this and that, to the IRS, to the tax court, to the everywhere, and especially to your district attorneys, all over the places, everywhere. The Homeland Security, A lot. I have lists of things that places you need to send this to. So then, what are they? Now they are repatriating who they are, which is maybe Chickasaw Quapaw. They are repatriating who they really are. And that way, when the comptroller comes a knocking, the big bad comptroller who wants to take all their coins and take away their freedom and take away their daggone leadership. Oh, is that deja vu? Oh, we're gonna just fall out and let them fall. Oh, okay. Let them take it again. Are we gonna do that again? No. It's Jubilee time, baby. If you believe in that. It's time for you it's time for us to do a different tune. Dance to a different tune. It's time for a different outcome. But you gotta act differently to get differently. You gotta work differently to make changes. And we gotta stop just talking. Negroes like to talk too much. Now I know I'm talking to you, but I'm doing. I make phone calls. I made this presentation. I'm gonna be communicating with this woman. We're gonna get some. I'm gonna give her. If they lose their crap, it won't be my fault. It won't be for me not trying to help. It'll be for them not being confident enough to know who they are and for actually riding on that. Because quite frankly, what else have they got to lose? But let me tell you, they need to understand that's the whole reason they shooting them down in the street. And that's the whole reason he can come and try to push you around, because you don't know who you are. Because he knew if we were 1 minute starting to understand who we are, oh baby, this whole game in this country is going to change fast. Fast.
So, to add on to that, if you look in that area of what she's talking about, Mississippi, Memphis is close to it. The Mississippi River's right there. And if you guys been to that part, the Mississippi River is one of the coldest river in America, which brings me to share a story with you guys. When I first started African Americans Ain't Africans, I met a sister and she told me this story, and this shit goes on every day in every city we in. She said that her uncle, her grandfather had 5 sons, and they lived along the Mississippi River. And, it was about the time when everybody in the South started going to the big cities. And the father gave the sons 100 acres apiece. So the sons went to New York, LA, Chicago, and they did what most people do. They had children and stuff. But they got caught up in that child support. Yo, daddy ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. And these kids had 100 acres on the Mississippi River. But we get so caught up in all these ideologies that don't mean shit. They haven't meant nothing since they came out. And these young ladies, if they had children, their grandchildren, they miss out on that 500 acres on the Mississippi. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. We got to stop
Right.
little bitches and trying
Right.
to be other people and get mad when you explain what you're talking about, dude. And you
Right.
can't never explain it. You just get
Right.
mad and you don't want to talk about it, and you keep
Right.
the youth confused. And that's all
We don't understand that knowing who we are
no.
has practical applications. We don't understand that even like in all these current events, even with what's his name? What's the guy? First of all, I had talked about the football player. What's his name? Michael Vick.
Right.
Michael Vick and his dog fighting. If he had organized this family as the people that they are, Virginia, they wouldn't have been able to come with him with no dog fighting, damn anything. That's his tribal people. They have their own culture. What are you doing in his business? You don't got nothing to say here. You don't need to be even looking over here.
Cause
It
your
would have changed his life.
cause your
It,
ass never look in nobody's shit. You don't even raise your hand. Whatever they do, and you go with it. But when you do
mm,
something, everybody jumps on you. Just yes, man. Whatever you say, man. Yes, sir.
and you expect it. You expect it. And then the rest of your family act like that's okay too. Why are we doing this? Okay, so not only that, what is the other one? The guy who's the rapper singer. What's his name? The Pamunky Nene. Nay. What's his name? You know the one with Rihanna. What's that guy's name, y'all? I forget. I can't think of his name. What's the guy with Rihanna that's in trouble again? The guy that was with Rihanna who got in trouble was in trouble again. Chris Brown's in trouble again, right? I believe so. I don't know if I'm looking at old news or what, but I believe Chris Brown is in trouble again. He's a pamunky, right? Pamunky ain't gonna do nothing for him. That's the other problem. These pamunkies are government Indians. So all these people saying, I'm on the Dulles rules, I'm gonna join this. Well, you can join these recognized tribes, but these recognized tribes are these actual tribes that have been organized for a while. They are vegetative. They're government Indians. They're like welfare Indians. They're not going to try to buck. They're not going to try to stand alone. They're not going to try to go against the grain. They're going to just yassa. They're yassas. Okay, they can't help you. But as you repatriate, you have the ability to self-govern for real. So if Chris Brown had repatriated as an actual not pamunky, but what is real? I mean, because there's more than one pamunky. There's more than one in that. There's sub tribes and stuff for pamunkies. Lots of them. Actually, the pamunky already broke off into a sub tribe from Muskogee. No, Mattaponi pamunky. They broke up. They were together. Okay, so I mean, basically, so the power is in you actually being first contact and repatriating yourself. It's not in I'm a John. I'm on the road. And actually, the people who are on the road, you ain't real. I mean, I ain't even child. Please, I don't even want to get into that. We're not gonna go. I ain't get to who's real and what's real, not real. That's not really the point. And I shouldn't even really be judging in that way. It's not. That's not even not. Any. I can't be distracted by that. It's not even important, and it's not even positive. So I just try to. I'm trying. I try to stay positive. And the positive thing is this: you can actually change your life forever, and all your progeny and all your grandkids and great grandkids, they're going to walk in this life different. They're not going to be an object of daggone, somebody who's a slave, somebody who's picked upon, somebody who's daggone chased and watched and dragged and kept down and kept back. No, you're going to be a step above because it's your land. And when you speak, and when your descendants and you speak, people will listen. That's what you need to be creating. And this is the thing that you can do. This is within your reach.
And, we have to remember.
Thank you, DJ ZPE.
One of the things we have to remember and keep in mind when you're talking about these people in this part of Mississippi, the Mississippi River is right there. What were these people doing? What kind of highway was the Mississippi River to these people? And since we claim all these other ideologies, we give away our heritage. And this shit ain't hard to understand. We just like stupid, like we don't understand, and we like to cry and get on our ego and no. This is what we give away. When we say we're something else, and when you're asked to explain what you are, you don't know. So when we got started, we wanted to get into the Memphis syncopators. Check these cats out. Now, Remember this guy, Charles Lunford, he was in the big band era with Duke Ellington, Count Basie, and he named this. And when you check this brother out, this brother was flying planes in the 1920s. Check out, and so I just wanted to show you what these cats sounded like. This is the music they played back then. This is what they was jamming to. Check this out. Check this out. Look how they live it.
They knew they were Chickasaw.
Them your folks.
Those
This
are
is
our beautiful people.
but we like to claim we was taking a cruise from Africa, and we're not those people. This is what we do. It ain't what nobody else do. This is what all these cats out there claiming all this bullshit, confusing the children.
Mm-hmm.
This is the position we put ourselves in. So stop blaming. They did this to us. No, this is what we do.
We don't want this to be sad stories because this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. We can change this. We can change everything. But you have to put your mouth into action. It's one, yes, you speak things into existence, but you gotta work it into reality. You got to work it into reality. And then the other thing is, you have to manifest your power. Ain't nobody gonna give. Let me tell you something, y'all. I hate to tell you this, but ain't nobody gonna give you anything. I don't know if you figured this out yet. I hate to break it to you. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. However, ain't nobody gonna give us anything. We have to take control of our destiny. And that's by actually a lot of things. By telling these people, first of all, like, okay, I just want people to stop wasting time with these fake people. These people that look crazy, they African. Land patents, yeah. These people right here, they probably got, I'm sure this gentleman, the mayor, he got his people were farmers. I bet he got land in his family for real already anyway. But he probably has more land and land patents that he doesn't know about. There were agreements. If you look on the Wikipedia, it tells you that they were Mississippians, ancient Mississippians there when the colonial when now I don't call them colonials. I call them when the invaders came. When the predatory parasitic invaders came.
And let me
These people are the ancient people.
and let
And
me
Hmm?
no, let me just add something to it because I wanted to post. See, one of the things is we have a lot of people talking and they don't know what the fuck they talking about. They just say shit and it all does in confusion,
It
like
is.
Venom 314.
What's
But
he
they
say?
but they not from Memphis, dude.
What's he talking about? What's that have to do with Mississippians? What is he talking about?
This is what I'm saying. He ain't talking about nothing. But all they do is run their yap to confuse people. Brother, Tennessee, all of these places weren't called these states before these people got here. You
What is
do
he
know that,
doing?
right? You don't think the Quapaw, the Chickasaw, the Cosati, you don't think they called these lands something different from what people called themselves from? We never get it. And this is mainly the men. You keep talking and don't talk because all you're gonna do is
You know,
confuse everybody.
yeah. They find thinking about real things disturbing. It makes them feel nervous
Right.
because it makes them feel impotent. It makes them feel like they're not doing enough. Well, you can feel impotent. You can feel like you're not doing enough. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe that's true about you. You know, I can't worry about you. All I can say is what I can suggest, and all I can say is what me and mine are doing, and that's all the only thing I can go by because I get on everybody. I was like, look, what are you doing arguing with Moors and all this on YouTube or on the Clubhouse? We don't have time for that. We're gonna argue with the Williamsburg, Virginia Museum. We're gonna argue with the Department of Humanities. We're gonna argue with the Department of Education in Virginia. We're gonna argue with the daggone the Department of the Interior. We're going to argue with people like the Queen. We're going to argue with the UN. We're going to argue with people who have our stuff and people who need to be corrected in their fake histories. We're going to argue with people that count. And we're going to help people who count, who are going to do the work. And that's what you need to do. Don't be bothered with, baby. The fake people can entertain the fake people, and they can go all just kick rocks and kill themselves. I don't care, but it's not kill themselves, but they can all kick rocks. But I'm just saying, it's just ridiculous. These people, we need not to worry about them. We need to be concerned with the people we can help.
So here's something I learned tonight. So when you do your genealogy, because Lisa posted, genealogy, look up your folks. Find the
It's
people. Find the people. So like the day you were born, find the people in your family who died on that date or got married on that date or something in that date. It could have been 100 years ago. It could have been 50 years ago. Find those people and find their ancestors, their relatives. You got this connection thing. We don't pay attention to too much because we want to connect to everything else.
What is Venom talking about? He thinks we're not in the South. What is he talking about? Why don't you travel down here and what are you talking about? And travel down here. Do you know where I am? You get. Do you see where I'm at? He's so that's so stupid.
I mean,
Like
okay.
where are you, Venom? You're insane.
So this
I
is
am where I need to be doing what we're meant to do, making real changes.
this
And
is
you
how
are a predator. You are a parasitic invader, like the rest of them. Now,
listen.
understand, these parasitic invaders do not want us to assume our rightful positions because where does that leave them as immigrants that need to go back home? They don't want to go back home. They don't want to go back to their open sewers. No, they don't want to do that. Yeah, they want to act like Africa's great, but they don't want to go dip their toes in the open sewers. They don't want to do it. I don't know why. Because they're so it's where every person came from. So they should want to just dip their face in it. They should want to just put their whole heads in the open sewers.
So
And eat their roasted rat. They need to eat that too. Rat on its stick. Enjoy.
so Lisa, we coming to the end of the hour. What do you have to leave us with? And also this
This is the thing. I want to say this, that first of all, we understand the worst thing they did was to fool us that we came from Africa. And so we've got all this generation of baby boomers who took the bait, who sucked it in, who inhaled it. They're teaching it in our schools. I need everybody to do some things to change some things. First of all, I'm not drunk. I'm not having anything to drink. But first of all, what we need to do is change the information in our schools. We need to fight to get the curriculum changed. Words like explorers need to be taken out the room, out of our dictionary. An explorer, that means I would go up into my woods and I look around and I come back out. That's exploring. Exploring is not taking, raping, removing, stealing, destroying,
and
they're going annihilating, terrorizing. That's not exploring. Do not give these candy cane terms to these people. We're not going to teach our kids these lies anymore. You're setting up one part of society for success, and you're annihilating at the expense of annihilating the other. Tell the truth. And don't you lie about my history anymore. That's one thing. The other thing is when we see something, say something. Tweet, say something. Tweet, do something. And understand that they put daggone Martin Luther King in front of the daggone boycott because they wanted to block the boycott. The march didn't do anything. That was a distraction. The thing that brought them to their knees was their money. The boycott. If we would have taken the advice of the people of the town and boycotted over and over again instead of marching to Washington, those things are jokes. They don't change anything. It's your money. Stop using Amazon for 3 months. See what Amazon does. Stop going to Walmart for a few months. See what they do. Boycott is our power. That's one thing we need to get to know. Voting is no power. Boycott is our power. The more we really understand that and start saying it, boycott is our power. I want you to start chanting that. I want you to start posting it all over your dag on Instagram and everything. Boycott is our power. Nothing else is stronger than our dollar. And boycotting is the most powerful thing. In fact, most of the things that happen in this world, they boycotted. Didn't we boycott for South Africa? Most effective thing that happened. They boycotted with France and Italy, France and England. There were boycotts with trade. With they're going to Dutch, the Dutch weren't allowed to trade. Most of the powerful things that were done in history were boycotts. We got to start thinking real and listen to smart people that think logically instead of these babble idiots that are all over the place, confusing you with no solutions for you. None. They got no solutions. They talk in circles. Yes, there are land patents, but baby, if you don't organize your family under a tribe and then have a tribal trust, you're gonna have nothing but headaches. Trying to the, you can have everybody and their mama trying to fight over that land, but you organize yourselves as a tribe with a tribal trust. That's you're already together, babe.
And
You
then
already got it.
and then when you fight over the land, you don't do nothing with it.
Well, I mean, they're not even going to get the land because, first of all, you got people on the internet trying to tell people about patents, but you got to get yourself under a nation because you getting your land patent by yourself or whatever you get as a person that is not repatriated. You're just a sitting duck. All you're going to do is give yourself a bunch of headaches that you wish you never had. For real. You got to do things in a sensible, logical way. And like my mom said, there's a right way and a wrong way. And let's try to do it the right way. Okay. I'm just trying to offer some advice. That's all, y'all. That's all it is. But
So
yeah, you got people out here who don't want you to know. And you you need to know. And you need to wake your family up. And it takes a lot of talking. And people in the chat were right. Yeah. A lot of time your family aren't going to be able to help you. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff on your own because they're not going to be awoke. But guess what? You're going to find when you start like reaching out to people who are of your people, who are of your kingdom, right? You're going to find those like-minded folks. You're going to find those people that will do work, who will call and say, yeah, we need this and that and that. We need this change, blah, 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 or write an email for you, or you all start calling. That's what we do. That's how we actually create our power. Okay.
thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
The chat is with you, and then, and just what I want to leave with the chat. Check out all these places, especially by these rivers, all these waterways that lead to certain places. Find your people in them places because remember, the waterways was how the people traveled. That's how they traded
Right.
on these waterways. These rivers and these streams going from state, well, what we know states now, because those people they didn't call it Alabama, they didn't call it Tennessee. They called it what the language they spoke, what it was. And finding your people, you would find out what that was if you find out who your people were. All this stuff that we've been given that hasn't worked,
Mhm.
we can't pass that down to our children, y'all. If it is, we just stabbing them in the back. And what kind
Right.
of foe stabs his child in the back? So thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's Saturday morning. Check out what's going on in Tennessee. Help those brothers out. Do what you can there and start doing what you can around.
Go to the Twitter, go write the comptroller, call them. They want help. They want support. Um, send information.
And also around where you live, because probably the same thing is going around where you live
Exactly.
because we don't pay attention because we play all these games.
Exactly.
So
They're taking people's land or for petty things. They're piling on fines for people. Like if you have a car in your yard and they're taking people's land for stupid stuff. A car without a tag. People are getting fines that they can't even get food because they got all these fines and they lose their property because of it. They are doing this stuff all over the country. Get rowdy. Let's get some things done. Stop them. We can be, don't be Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle
Oh
Ruckus
God.
wasn't cool.
Uncle Ruckus was funny, but
Yeah.
we
So
need to get some changes going on. Change agents.
change, y'all. Change. That's what you're here for. So we'll see you next time we come through. We'll talk to you guys a little later. Peace.
Peace.